What up, y'all? Welcome back to the Woman's Hustle, Thrills and Spills of Entrepreneurship. It's your girl, Coach K. Thank you so much for tuning in. Before we get started, make sure you have subscribed to the Upgraded Mindsets Media channel. If you are listening audio-wise, please make sure you have favorited the Woman's Hustle on your streaming platform so you can make sure that you get the updates. Rate and review. We love feedback over here. So please let me know what you think of this episode as well as previous episodes as well. But I'm not going to hold y'all. I'm going to allow my guest the honor of introducing herself. Hello.
Hi, I am Peachi Williams, known as the Brand Voice Builder and Brand Chef, and I'm just so happy to be here. So thank you for the invite.
I am so happy to have you. We have made connection on LinkedIn, and I am just super excited. I love her brand. I love everything about what she does, and she's going to tell you guys a little bit more about what she does, but I'm also excited to have her here because I feel like what she talks about and what she does is something that a lot of us need but be in denial about. Okay, so we're going to dive all into that. So please let the listeners know more about what you do, your brands, your businesses. We want to know all about it.
Okay, well, I'll start with the other one first. I am the owner of the Freshman Funbox brand, and so we have a couple of entities. We have Freshman Funbox, the HBCU box, we have the Campus Connection box, and then we have the I'm HBCU lifestyle brand. And so the purpose of the Freshman Funbox brand is to connect colleges with students. You know, it's connection basically. So these are care packages that we send every month to colleges, and we work with universities, we work with parents, you name it. And so these are the care packages that are unique in their own way. And so we have the Freshman Fun Box for freshman students. Then, of course, the Campus Connection boxes for sophomores and juniors. And then we have one for seniors. And then, of course, HBCU, we know for my illustrious HBCU students. So we have a lot of fun doing that, sending them out every month. But basically, it's to keep the connection going on that brand. And then I have the Right Mix. And so the Right Mix is my agency where we specialize in copywriting and creative brand strategy. And as a result of that, I built the Color Me brand ecosystem and the Cooking Up Brands educational system under that moniker.
Yes.
So yes.
Hey, let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna let her get into it more, but I get so excited just like seeing her post, seeing her share her area of expertise. It is such a level of motivation to me, and I just wanted to let you know that so much. I so like love what you do, but I love how you do it, right? And it really sets itself apart from other people that I know that do the same thing as you. So I definitely want to let you know that you are definitely walking in your truth and walking in your purposes with all of your businesses, okay? Multi-businesses, because I love it. I absolutely love it. So
no, I was saying that I do try to make it relatable, especially with the Cooking Up brands. It's easier to understand what somebody is saying when everybody likes food, you know,
yes.
And
Come
a
on.
lot of times
I know I do.
Yes. And so branding can be confusing to a lot of people, especially if you're trying to put yourself on the level as a big business. You know, solopreneurs, there's no reason why a solopreneur can't present themselves like they're a big business or a big entity as well if they're branding it right. But a lot of times the terminology is confusing. And so I use food and relatable metaphors of cooking to kind of break down the branding process.
And she do it so dope, y'all. I'm telling y'all right now. Her information gonna be in the podcast notes. Y'all know that. So make sure that y'all definitely check it out because it is just so unique, and I absolutely just love it. But I'm curious, what made you get started? Kind of what's the backstory behind, the branding side of things, but just the passion behind everything that you do.
Well, funny story. I've been writing since I was yay high. I've been writing and reading, and so I went into PR. I wanted to be an attorney at one point, and my PR, someone from the PR department, the only Black lady on the faculty, she was like, "No, I need you to come to PR." So I was like, "I don't want to. I want to be an attorney," and she was like, "You can still be an attorney, but you'll have this background. You'll do even better." And so I started going to those classes and I loved it. And as a result, I started a PR firm years and years and years ago. And I started
Mm,
doing PR for authors and also reviewing books for national publications, doing some work for the major publishing houses. And from there, I just started branding. I started working for an advertising agency, and they were like, your words, bringing it to life is amazing. And so that's how I kind of got started with the branding process, because a lot of people don't realize is that when you're working in an advertising agency or wherever, the words from the copywriter is what brings
yeah,
everything to life. And so
I
I was
love
able
it.
to marry the two. And that's actually how I got started. It's like I fell right into it. It wasn't
Yeah.
a plan or anything. It was just something that I think God just said, okay, it's time for you to walk in your purpose. Let me go ahead and
Come on,
redirect
purpose.
your
Come on,
path.
purpose.
You're right. Let me redirect your path and put you where you're supposed to be. And it has
Yeah.
been, great ever since.
I love it. I love it. And it's so important because I've heard so many stories and I'm sure you have too, just from others who won't walk in purpose because they're scared of failure. They're scared of, not being able to accomplish what it is that they seek. And a lot of us will just stop because of that fear, and it sounds like that you've just been authentic along the entire way for yourself, not saying that you weren't fearful at some point, but it just seems like that you've just been always like, okay, yep, once I step into this, I'm gonna be confident in doing what I do, even with the uncertainties. Like that's just,
Yeah.
I think that that's just so amazing.
Well, that's true. I think sometimes when you go through challenges, you tend to grow blocks,
Mhm.
blocks. But I've always been somebody, for some reason, to push through. I think I was an only child for so long. I learned how to push myself and believe in myself. I come from a family
Mhm.
of educators, so it was always being corrected on this and always being corrected on that. And so I think that
Right.
kind of fueled my passion going forward. Once I realized what it was, I think to some capacity, I always knew I wanted to be a writer. I just didn't understand how I would become that person. But I think because of the fact that I help people in so many different capacities, the doors were opened for me. To
Yeah.
whom much is given, much is required. And I'm a firm believer in, even though you believe in other people, you have to believe in yourself first.
Woo, say it one more again. Self. I love it. I love it. I just want to ask you, like, because you are very deep in the space as far as like the branding, the marketing, the copywriting, and things like that. What do you feel is like some of the common mistakes, us as solopreneurs starting businesses? Where do you see like some of the common mistakes that one may make that could be hindering their growth?
Not doing the work. For me,
Mm,
that's number one. I think a lot of times people, when you say branding, okay, so it's a word that you said marketing. But I think people confuse branding and marketing. They
they
are
do.
not the same.
Yep.
Marketing, you can market a product and sell that one product and you don't have to sell it anymore. But brands are ever evolving. They never go away once you start it,
Mm,
unless you want it to.
good point.
And
Good point.
so that's where they start. They don't know the difference. And then once they realize, okay, I'm creating a brand, they start in the wrong place. Most people start with the graphic designer. Okay, I need this logo and I need, I want these colors and stuff.
I
And
did
that's not
that.
where that's not where brand starts. They don't even realize,
Right.
I need to know the purpose. Why do you have this brand and are you going to do it beyond
Yes.
making money? We all know you can have 50 brands and not one of them make one red cent, right?
Come on. Come
Even though
on.
well it's proof of validation, validating, but if you don't know your purpose, then how will you know where you're going? If you
Yeah.
don't know your purpose, then how can you align with your vision? And all those things are important. If you don't know your values, you'll stand for anything, you fall for anything. And so
Yeah.
starting with that core is so vitally important, even to the point you should know your personality and your brand voice before you
Yeah.
even name your business. And a lot of times people say, oh, I want my business to be named this, and once they go through the process, they're like, okay, is my business name aligned? And nine times out of 10, it may be because it's something, near and dear to you or true to you. But
Right.
at the end of the day, it may not be. And a lot of times that's why you see brands disjointed or their colors are off and they have to rebrand and all these things because they didn't do the work.
Oh, that's so. That's some heat right there. Because I'm definitely somebody that wanted all the aesthetics first, right? And I mean, starting in
But we are,
2020,
we're visual.
woo, I was like lost in the sauce. You hear me? It was like, I want my thing to look like this. I want it to look like this. Them colors was so hideous, y'all. My memories in my Facebook, like I had to go through and delete because it's like I don't want nobody to ever see these. But
But you know
I
what?
keep
That's
them
okay
for
though.
lessons for me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. I
Yeah.
mean, we have to start somewhere. And I
Yes.
think people kind of don't give themselves enough credit because it's
Yeah.
hard to even start. It's hard to even push yourself to say, I'm going to do this and to be
I'm going
dedicated
to.
to it. It's hard to push past not making any money, not getting any
Yeah.
traction, not making any sales. It's hard to continue the process. And
Yeah.
so, even starting with disjointed colors or whatever, the fact that you took the time to do that, that's to be commended.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And and that's what I have to tell people because like we get caught up. We see the social people on social media who have great marketing teams, by the way, because if you are convinced that they doing something on their social media, they marketing good, the product might be good, but that marketing is better because it's to convince you that that's how you supposed to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So that's, I tell people all the time that is a marketing strategy, that is a tactic. And it's working. It worked for you. But at the end of the day, you still have research and stuff to do. And I think a lot of times, like you said, we just don't do the work. We will just run with something because we see it has maybe worked for somebody else and we will run with
Right,
that. And then we get discouraged because it didn't work. But did you do the work to even figure out if that was going to work for you?
right. You know, a lot of
So,
times people don't speak to their audience the way that they should be speaking to their audience because they don't know their brand voice. And a
yeah.
lot of times, I think a post I put, I think it was Valentine's Day post, I put fall in love with your brand and treat your brand like a person rather than an entity or a thing. And when you treat your brand that way, you can become more relatable because you're not going to talk to your friends the same way you talk to someone at a funeral, right? Unless you're
Mhm.
with a friend or someone in mourning, you're not going to speak to them the same way, the tone. And so the tone and the feelings that you have towards your brand, if you treat it like a person that's near and dear to you, it'll be more, you'll be able to look at it differently as opposed to just this thing that you have to do social media for or spend your money
Yeah.
on. It becomes something near and dear to you as opposed to just being a thing that you don't know if you want to do anymore.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I'm curious, how have you, through this journey, through your multiple brands and businesses, how have you taken care of you when it comes to like self development and community and, just making sure that you're staying in tune with you? How have you been doing that?
Well, I do a couple of things. One of the best things I think I've ever done, though, in 2023, I told myself I was going to go to therapy, and I went to therapy the entire year.
I love that for
And
you,
that
sis.
was, I would say that was life changing for me because I'm so used to pouring into others. And at that point, I poured into myself. And I was
Yes.
actually able to realize some things about me and kind of get to know who I was. And it it was amazing because that trickle down effect. So the people that would usually call me to tell me about their problems and, I'm encouraging them and stuff like that, those close friends started calling me to check up on me. And that had never happened before. And so it was great. And so now I kind of make it a priority to put myself first, even
Yes.
to the point where I'll just take, like, on the weekends, I used to just work. I work a lot, but
Yeah.
I
I get
take
it.
one weekend day. Yeah, but I take one weekend day now and do absolutely nothing. And I make it my business to do that, even if I have to force myself to do it. But I do it to kind of recharge and
Yeah.
recalibrate and get myself ready for whatever's coming next.
Man, look, I'm just super proud of you. Like,
Oh, thank
for
you.
one, thank you for being transparent, and sharing that because I know as women and especially as Black women, we will suppress. We will suppress and we will make it seem like everything is okay. And we good, we got it, we got it. I share that story with you, sis. Like, always showing up for others and just had nothing for me,
Hmm.
and 2020 was that year for me. So like anytime I hear someone share that story, like I just get so excited. I got chills because that's the breakthroughs that we need,
Yeah.
and for that to be a motivation for somebody else to be like, hey, I can do this too. So like I'm just super proud of you for that and continuing that, because we don't talk enough about self-development, personal growth when it comes to like our entrepreneur journeys. We feel like that our entrepreneur journeys are just this and our personal lives have nothing to do with that. When in all actuality, we've got to be clear on a personal note before we can even think about pivoting on an entrepreneurial level. And that involves therapy, that involves coaching, mentorship, classes, certifications, whatever that requires and whatever that looks like for you, it is required. And I want
Mm-hmm.
people to understand that you can't tell me that you want to sell products and in 4 years of you selling products, you have done no form of continuing education, whether it is achieving a degree, a certification, taking some courses. If you haven't done any of that, you got to really ask yourself, is this something that you want to do for the long term? Or are you just out here trying to hustle? Because there's a difference.
That's true. It is a difference. And life be lifing. I don't want anybody to
Girl,
get life be lifing. And
life
as
be
an
life. Come on.
entrepreneur, especially as a woman, I think,
Yes.
well, we're already so discounted.
Yeah.
We already have to fight to demonstrate that we know our stuff because
Yeah.
people automatically discount you. And especially if you're a solopreneur or, your firm is not huge and gigantic and stuff like that or whatever, somebody will look at what you do and know that you're the best, but then they'll go to somebody else and pay them what they
Oh,
should have paid you.
Lord.
Okay, we'll start there. Okay, especially if, and I'll say it, Black women,
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
then
for sure.
and
For sure.
secondly, I'm a forever learner. I'm a forever student, and my kids laugh about it, but it's true. I'm always, because I may be good at what I do, but I can always be better.
Yes.
I have taught myself a lot of systems and processes and things of that nature, but I don't know it all. And so I invest. One of the things that I really do is I invest in my companies and I invest in myself to make sure that I know, because I feel one of the things that solopreneurs often do, and it hurts them to that it's a detriment to them, is that they don't take the time to know something about every little thing that goes on in their business. And
The
so when
whole
you don't know
ecosystem. Yes.
anything about certain things, you can get got real easy. And so even if you don't know all of it, even if you don't know about accounting or anything, take an accounting class and learn something, or
Yeah.
get on lynda.com and, it's LinkedIn Learning now. Get on LinkedIn Learning and learn something about
There's
what
just
it
so
is.
many resources. Yeah.
Right. I mean, information is power on every level. And so
Yes.
I'm a big advocate in knowing what I need to know.
Yeah.
And for me, I can't put a price tag on that. Like, I'm
Nope.
going to pay for what I need to know.
Yep. Straight like that. That
Hmm.
investment is necessary. That
Yeah.
financial investment, that personal investment, hey, that overall investment. Because again, if you're doing it for the hustle, hey, more power to you. I probably ain't talking to you. But if you're doing this to create a legacy, to create
Hmm.
a long term, wealth or whatever else, hey, that involves forever learning.
Yes.
And I do. I'm a lifelong learner as well. So I agree with you 100% on that. So I want you to share with us a thrill that you have encountered on your journey as an entrepreneur. And like I said, from either business, but I would love to hear a joy that you've experienced throughout this journey for yourself.
Oh my gosh, I've had so many.
And you can
Okay, so
share
on
things.
Freshman Fun Box, when I first started Freshman Fun Box, and we'll be 7 this year. I can't believe it.
Ooh,
When I started Freshman Fun Box, I think I was thrilled at I had released the website and stuff. I think I was 2 months in, and Big Pens called me, in like Big the company. And I was like, what? They called me, and they thought, because the way that everything was done and it was so well done, they thought that I was a huge company and wanted to
mm,
do something. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I just started this company. And the guy that called, he was so shocked. He was like, I cannot believe that. And it just made me proud to know that I had branded
absolutely.
myself out the gate for a major company to approach me for a partnership. So that was like, one of my first thrills when I first started Freshman Fun Box. I
I
was so
love it.
happy for
That
that.
is something to be so proud of. Hey, I
Mhm.
love that. Hey, that mean you know what you're doing, sis. Go ahead. Look.
And I think on the writing side, I think one of my greatest thrills, hmm, author asked me to ghostwrite their book for them. And at that
Nice.
time, Essence still had their bestseller list, and that author made the Essence bestseller list. So I think that's a great thrill.
Hey, I'm just so geek journey. Y'all know how I get. Y'all know I am such a hype man, and y'all know how I get. So, hey, I love hearing success stories. I love it. I love it. But of course, with the thrills must come spills because we know entrepreneurship is a roller coaster ride nonetheless. Okay.
Mhm.
So please share with us something that just wasn't so joyous and one of probably a lesson. You know how we take
Well,
those losses as lessons.
this is a nugget. So I'm a big advocate of trademarking your stuff. And if you don't realize how important it is, trademarking your stuff is like you're sitting on the sofa in your house and somebody coming in your house and just picking up your stuff in your face and walking out with it. That's how
Hmm.
important a trademark can be. And so unfortunately, I had the experience of having to sue someone for trademark infringement.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was not pleasant.
Yeah, I bet.
But the person, usually when you're going through that, you send a cease and desist. And so the person, I had a conversation with them, and the person was like, maybe I guess they didn't take me seriously.
Hmm.
And
They didn't think
unfortunately,
Fat was greasy. Okay.
it was a man, it was a black man. I'll say that. Now he didn't take me seriously. And a colleague had also spoken with him and was like, no, she has numerous trademarks. Like, that's not the one you want.
Hey.
And he said basically he was like, I'm making money and you just sound like you're gonna have to
Oh
sue me.
well.
I said, say less. And it was a time because he was avoiding being served. He doesn't live in the same state. And so I had to hire a law firm in another state to
Mm,
actually take this case to bring it before the courts in that state. It was a process and it was lengthy and it was very, very expensive and it was
I
very
bet.
traumatic for me. I did win, but just the simple fact to have to go through all of that. And then when the attorney, they finally got him and served him, he was like, I didn't think she was serious. And she was like, how could you not think that? How could you not think that this woman's not going to defend her trademark? So word to the wise to other
Yeah.
entrepreneurs, you want to trademark your things, but even with the trademark, you need to police it because if you don't, the same thing could happen. And then you are basically leaving the door open for them to go before the trademark office and say, well, they're not using it when it's time for you to kind of update every 5 years. And so, word to the wise. That's my
It's another level of investment. Yeah. It's another level of investment, people. And I know sometimes, those that are starting off and stuff like that, you don't think that you should because you're not big enough. You're not, but it's something that you definitely should be doing. If you can't do them all at one point, at least figure out the one that you know is going to be the most significant to you at that time. And again,
Mhm.
I'm not a lawyer. This ain't legal advice. I got to put that
Right.
disclaimer out there, but yeah, we gonna disclaim on here. But it's just experiences from one entrepreneur to another. Make sure that you are protecting your assets, your brand, your name, whatever it is. Make sure that you are doing what you have to do to protect that. Okay. Like she dropped the gem on there, y'all. Hey, she had to experience that. And although she came out victorious, she still had to go through the motions. Nobody wants to go through litigation for nothing. I know I don't. I
Very,
know I
very,
don't. I
very,
had to send collection letters to people who hadn't paid me, and that stressed me out.
very
Hey, the
stressful.
threat of collections made them payments quick, but I had to do it.
Right.
So you have to be serious about your business and your brand when it comes to, you know, collecting and doing what you got to do. Okay.
Yeah. And
I
unfortunately,
love it. I love it. So let me ask you, how do you see the future of like branding and like creative strategy, because we got AI out here now and things like that. And some people are taking advantage. Some people are like, I'm not using AI. What do you see here in the next 3 to 5 years when it comes to that evolving?
Well, I'll say this. AI is here to stay. That's undisputed. Um, be careful. As a copywriter, when AI first started, I was like, no. I
I bet.
now, like, so if I use AI for an outline or something, but I'm still a writer at
Mhm.
heart, you
Yeah.
know. Um, I want people to use it as a useful tool, but not abuse it. People are starting to use AI and not using their brain power anymore. And the
Yeah,
only way
buddy.
that you can really keep that investment going, your personal investment into your brand, is to be authentically you. And AI
Yes.
can't do that for you. So I will say that AI is good at helping you generate ideas, coming up with certain things, but in terms of the voice of your brand, only you can do that. So keep that in mind. I see AI doing a lot more because they're building so many different AI models. So I see it doing a lot more in terms of creating videos. Now it can create images, but some of them are not good depending on what you use.
Ooh, them 8 fingers be killing me.
Right. You're going to see creating videos. There are some AI models that create videos and all these other things. So it's not something that you should be afraid of. It's something that you should embrace for what you needed to do.
Yeah.
Just don't let it run your business. You stay running your business. I'll say that.
Straight like that. And I
Mhm.
love that. And I love that you said it, because the one word that you said out of that is tool. It's a
Mhm.
tool.
Yeah.
So make sure that you're using it as a tool and not trying to, like you said, make it run your entire business. I love that. I love that. Thank you for that. So what's coming up for you? What's coming up for the brands? What's in the future for 2025? What you got going on?
Gosh. 2025 has started out with a bang. I'll say
Hey,
that. Thankfully, prayerfully, gracefully, I thank God every day for what He's doing.
come on, talk about it.
So on the Fresh and Fun box side, we have some things going on that I can't talk about yet. But
Okay,
on
okay.
the right mix side, okay, so when I did Cooking Up Brands is the education side. And so
Yeah.
I gave everybody a teaser when I released this cookbook, the recipe cookbook in December. But that was just a test. It was just a precursor
Mhm.
to what was to come. So I mean, it's still a work in progress because a lot of the products are not in there yet, but
Okay.
it's live, the Cooking Up Brands website, cookingupbrands.com. And the website is all things branding tools, branding resources, branding tools, courses, even some t-shirts. That's coming.
Hey.
We have the books in there. I have a series that is about to be released called Scripture Sprinkles. And it's basically about branding, but branding with faith. And so all of those
Ooh.
things will be in Cooking Up Brands. I'm so excited. I've been sitting on this. I have been working on the website. So I hope you enjoy the website. And of course,
Abs
there's still things to be put in there every day. It's a work in progress. So some things are, all the cookbooks are there, all the guides are there, but little things like the email series, the email templates and stuff like that, like those things are slowly coming, but the site
Mhm.
is up. So
I
I
love it.
invite you to take a look.
Absolutely. And I'm going to make sure that all of that will be in the links, so you guys can make sure that you go check it out. Make sure you purchase. If you are somebody that is struggling with any form of branding, copyright, as far as like coming up and being more creative with your ideas, I highly, highly, highly recommend going and checking out all the products, and make sure that you are following her, whether she is on LinkedIn. Please tell us your socials. Where can everybody follow you at and find you at?
We're a lot of places. Oh, but before that, I'm having a challenge. I'm having a brand challenge starting March 3rd for 5 days. So I'll also give you that information. I welcome you all to
Okay.
come. It's going to be fun, very, very fun. And then it's a precursor to our membership, which is Prism. But you can
Nice.
find us on socials. I am on Facebook. I am on Instagram. I am on TikTok, Pinterest. I don't really do nothing over there though. I'm on
There.
LinkedIn. So You can find me on LinkedIn under Peachy Williams. My company pages are trash. I will say that. I have not I
Hey,
have not
sometimes we
done
gotta
good
narrow
on it.
things down, sis, and I ain't mad at you. Sometimes we gotta
I
narrow it
have
down.
not
Having
done
multiple pages, hey, I get it.
I have a YouTube channel. I have a podcast, Talk Like a Brand podcast. Then Color Me Brand, you will see on Instagram where Color My Brands. I'm not doing nothing on Pinterest either. And I'm on Facebook as well, Color Me Brand. And then Cooking Up Brands, I am just starting to build the socials on that. But Cooking Up Brands has TikTok on fan base. And so is the right mix. The right mix is on fan base. I am on Instagram.
Ooh,
I
she
am on
everywhere, y'all.
all the things. And so the Cooking Up Brands YouTube channel actually starts next month as well. So
I love it. I love it. Listen, y'all, let me tell y'all something. All of those links will be available, but definitely know you are going to be able to find her, follow her, and see exactly what I'll talk about when I tell you I love seeing her posts, the color, the wording, the descriptions, the call to actions, all of that. I get super excited to see those
oh,
things.
thank
So,
you so
and
much.
let me
Thank
just
you so
say, it
much.
has been a blessed honor to have you here on the Woman's Hustle podcast, like really sharing your insight. I know a lot of people gonna get a lot of value from this, so I definitely
You
appreciate you
for
being
inviting
here.
me. I want to tell you that I really appreciate the invite, but this is a space that is needed. You know,
Yeah.
I want you, I'm a firm believer in giving people their flowers while they're still here.
No.
And so just know that what you're doing is transformative. It
Thank
is
you.
something that people need, not just want, but it's something that people need, especially in this space,
Yeah,
because safe spaces in this space are few and far between.
very
I'll say
much.
that again. Safe spaces in this space are few and far between, and yours is definitely a
Amen.
safe space. So
Thank
please
you.
keep doing what you're doing. Just know that you are seen and you
No.
are heard. So I really, really appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Yes, pour into me. I love it. Thank you. Thank you.
It's all true,
Hey,
girl. It's
I
no cap. It's all
receive.
true.
Look, I already cried, too, but no, I appreciate that. I do. I really do appreciate that. And you just made me keep wanting to keep going more and more. And it's just appreciated. So thank you again for that. And just thank you again for being here. Listen,
Thank
y'all, if you have not subscribed, make sure you have subscribed by the end of this episode. You should already be having the notifications on so you can be alerted on the next episode of the Woman's Hustle Thrills and
you.
Spills of Entrepreneurship. Because, baby, this journey is a roller coaster up and down ride, and we are here to support you along that way. All right. So I appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. Share this with a friend if you ain't doing nothing. Okay. Make sure you also rate and review. And we'll holla back, y'all. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye bye.